Today we will be talking on a very pertinent topic, that is use of power and influence in teams. So let us start with the concept of what leadership is all about. The behavior of an individual directing the activities of a group towards a shared goal. It is the process of influencing the activities of an organized group towards the goal achievement. That means the pertinent role of leadership is all about taking care of the shared goal, directing the activities to achieve that particular goal or towards the goal achievement. The process whereby one or more individual succeeds in attempting to frame and define the reality of others. It is the ability of an individual to influence, to motivate, and to enable others to contribute towards the effectiveness and the success of an organization. Leadership is basically, it is a process of influencing others to understand and agree about what needs working to be done, definition and how to do it, and the process of facilitating the individuals and collective efforts to accomplish the shared objectives. Now there is a very important and excellent definition given by Harry S. Truman. If a man can accept a situation in a place of a power with the thought that it's only a temporary one, he comes out all right. But when he thinks that he is the cause of the power, then that can be his ruination. So these perspectives have to be kept in mind when you lead a team. It is pertinent to mention the basic concepts in relation to power and influence in the overall organization working. The first and the foremost which we are going to discuss is power. What is power? It is the ability of one person or department in an organization to influence the other people to bring about the desired outcomes. The second most important definition is about what do you mean by influence. It is basically the process by which people persuade others to follow their advice, suggestions or orders. So basically when you talk about power, people have no choice, and in case of influence, people follow the leader because their leader is able to persuade the team to move in a particular direction towards achievement of the shared goals. There's a question which comes to the mind, that why power is required. It is the most important question which needs further explanation. The first and the foremost reason about why power is required is providing direction. So direction is moving in X way or Y way or Z way. So if you have the particular power with you, it is very easy to give direction to your team to move in a particular direction, or to move in a particular way, or to adopt a particular technique, or to move overall in the shared direction in an X manner. The most important second reason for influencing of why power is required is get fast access to decision making. Since the leaders have the power to overall steer the organization, so if you have the power, it is very easy to take decisions, and that too very, very quickly. The third main reason of why power is required is all about maintaining a regular and the frequent contact with the decision maker. The next is your assisting in the management process. Now management is all about getting things done from others, like planning, organizing, controlling, coordinating, etc. So the overall power, if the leader has, it helps in assisting in the basic managerial activity and to complete the process of management. The next important reason for why power is required is about structure to the organization. The power gives a structure to the organizations which flows from top to bottom. That is, the people who are on the top, they have the maximum power, and as and when we move down in the hierarchy in the organizations, the power goes on decreasing. So it gives a very lucid and a clear structure to the organizations. It also helps in assisting the employees to better perform. Since the power gives the employees and the workers and the co-workers no actually choice but to follow the instructions of the leader, so it makes them work in a desired direction. It makes them work in a particular way. So it helps in assisting the employees to perform better and better. It also helps in articulating the goals and achievement of the goals, the shared goals, in a particular direction. Now, when you talk about power, it has certain positive effects as well as certain negative effects. So let us now first discuss about what are the positive effects of the power. The first and the foremost part as far as the positive effects of power is concerned is about leadership responsibilities. So this is the most important positive effect, that a leader feels responsible, that he has to steer a particular organization or he has to steer a particular department if he's a departmental leader. If he's the organizational leader, he has the responsibility of overall running the organization. Then the organizational and the personal goals. The overall positive effect of the power is that it helps in achieving the organizational goals, not only organizational goals, but also the personal goals. It also helps in inspiring the commitment. So overall power helps in completing the part which you are supposed to do, that is your commitment level. Then of course, when you are steering the organization as a leader, sometimes you need different ways and means to influence the particular team. So it also fuels and infuses the creativity into your modus operandi as a leader. So it facilitates the creativity. The next is your reduction of bureaucratic obstacles. Since the leader is there to give the clear directions and the clear instructions. So overall, if you talk about bureaucratic obstacles, they are reduced to the substantial extent. Let us have a look on this particular slide, which very clearly shows the negative effect of power. You can see in the picture that it is about bully bosses. So overall, if you see the nuances of the picture and the message which is derived from the picture is all negative, because he is influencing as a leader the excessive power. Again, it can also lead to manipulations. It can also lead to false hope. Now, what is a manipulation? That is when a leader gives the wrong picture to the subordinates and steers the organization in his own ways, which is detrimental to the individual, but yes, he gains the power. And sometimes the leader works in such a way that he creates a false hope, that is, you have to do the directions or you have to do the work in this particular direction, so this would be the outcome. So he gives a very false hope to the subordinates about the false hope, and sometimes there is a complete manipulation of the entire scenario, which is detrimental to the individuals who are a part of that team. Sometimes, because of the use of the excessive power, there is a consequence of excessive use of power which is called as a sexual harassment, which is the cases of which is on the uprise and upsurge. So this has to be stopped. The leader should not be adopting any of this activity if he wants to have the name and fame, if he wants to be successful in the organization. So he should adopt the positive side of the leadership, rather than doing wrong things like harassment, manipulation, raising the false hopes of the team members. Now moving on to the power and influence. Now, what is a power influence? Basically, when you talk about power and influence, there's a difference between the two which needs further discussions. So let us have a look on this. The ability of one person or a department in an organization to influence the other person to bring about the desired outcome influences. So the effect a person's action have on the attitude, value, belief or action of others. So it is basically, when you talk about the power, it is the ability to influence the person to actually move in a particular way, because that particular way is moving to that desired outcomes what you're looking for. So if this is the case, you are able to influence as a leader the attitude of your team, the value system of your team, the beliefs of your team and the actions of the team members. So basically, to be the kind of a leader that inspire happy teams, you need to ensure you are focusing on influence rather than the power to achieve the strategic outcomes. So this particular line clearly states that if the leaders are using power and when the leaders are using influence, in the comparative terms, which is better? Definitely, if the leader uses influence, it is better, because you are persuading the team members to move in a particular direction to achieve the desired outcomes. But on the contrary, if you are using the power, power is all about straight away influencing the person to move in a particular way without giving a choice or an option to the team members. So out of the two, that is the use of the power and the use of the influence, influence in relative terms is much better than the use of the power. That means towing a delicate line between exerting the kind of pressure that inspires the critical, creative thinking and creating a workplace that allows people to feel relaxed and confident in their ability. So the relationship between the power and influence is very vital for a good leadership. So overall, we can say that if a leader is using basically the influence to get the things done in the teams, so actually it fuels them, it inspires them, it motivates them, it creates the creativity in the workplace and the teams, and the overall spillover of use of influence in the team members is that they feel very happy. So we have the outcome of use of influence in the team as a happy team. So when the teams are happy, they are completely relaxed in their mindset, in their views, in their working, in their decision making, in their strategic overall aspects of the decision making of the organization. And of course, they feel very happy, relaxed and confident in their abilities. So what I feel is that the positive side of influence is much better than negative side of the power. And of course, this kind of a difference between the two, that is the power and the influence, all the leaders must understand before they exercise the use of the power or the use of influence. Now, what is the basic difference between the power and the influence? The power and influence both refer to naturally possessed traits that follow as a consequence of authority. The difference lies in how these two approaches to leadership encourage a team to complete their work, and power can be defined as the authority to change the behavior of others and make them do the things as they might not do otherwise. So, this is a very clear-cut difference between the two. That is, when the leaders use the power, that means you are forcing the team members to complete the work in the way you want as a leader because of the power status you have, which is basically because of the position you hold in the organization. On the contrary, sometimes the team members, they don't want to work because it is not the way they want the things to move on. So, if they use the influence, so they will actually, the leaders will actually convince the team members and the employees, okay, yes, this is the right way, and if you do the things in this way, you're going to be happy. So, basically, before the work is done, their mindset is changed, their behavior is changed, their value system is changed, and wishfully and willfully they will move and take the path which the power influencer, not the power influencer, but use of the influence by the leader desires them or wants them to move on. So, overall, this is the concept of the difference between the two. The trouble with the power is that for the group, there is no alternative left but to comply with, which means that the power is often achieved through fear or coercion. On the other hand, influence is defined as the ability to alter other people's perception of a situation. So, when you talk about the use of the power in the organization, number one, the team members, they don't have the choice, they don't have the alternative, they don't have the alternative plans, that is plan A or plan B, but to comply with the plan straight away which is given to them by their leaders, which means that power is often achieved through fear or coercion. What kind of a fear do the team members have? They have the fear of being demoted, they have the fear of their financial cuts, they have a fear that in future they will not have a cordial relationship with their leaders, and of course what they want will not then be endorsed or will not be taken care of, or they will not have a care and a position or say a overall comfort zone working with the leader, or they have a power of use of the physical force, that is the coercion, or probably their leaves will be cut, or there can be use of a physical force. So, this is the overall scenario of the use of the power, what the team members think about. That is, they don't have the alternative, they have to follow what the leader wants, and sometimes there is a complete fear of losing the credibility in the organization, or fear of the financial cuts, leave cuts, and overall demotion in the organization, or the fear of use of the physical force. On the other hand, influence is defined as the ability to alter other person's perception of a situation. So, this is the prime and the major difference between the use of the power and the use of the influence, that when the leaders use the influence, they have the capacity to change the mindset, value system, thinking process, the way they do work, their motivation level, their efficiency level, their productivity level, because they are persuading the team members. They are not exerting any kind of a physical influence onto the team, wherein they will have the outcomes of fear and coercion. On the other hand, in case of use of the influence, people feel very happy because it is basically about the perception of a situation that the leader has to change, the value system which the leader has to change. Now, unlike the power, influence makes use of the positive language and a subtle behavior to encourage the desired outcomes. So, the power forces the people to complete a task, where influence helps them understand why that task is necessary. So this needs a further deliberation. That is, when you use the influence, definitely the leader will all be positive, using all the good language, motivating behavior, very subtle behavior, very happy behavior, where you feel connected as a workforce to work together, to build a teamwork, etc. So people are encouraged. They feel happy that they are a part of that team because they're working towards the desired outcome very, very happily. Whereas, on the other hand, if you use as a leader the power, it is definitely going to change the mindset of the people. They feel mentally stressed. It actually forces the person to work or complete a task because he will use the coercive and the fearful techniques to influence the person or to work in a particular direction. Now, coming on to straight the definitional aspect and the deeper meaning of what is power. Having personal or the positional resources to change the situations or people's attitude and behavior, whereas power is equal to ability of one party to change, control the values, attitudes, etc. of another party, whereas influence is equal to the process of affecting the thoughts, behaviors of others. Now, the symbol of the power is equal to what? It is equal to ability to intercede for somebody in trouble, get placements for employees, going about budget limitations without getting into any kind of a trouble, because owing to his positional level, he has the power to do anything. So, power is the ability to influence the behavior of others with or without resistance by using a variety of tactics to push or prompt the action. Now, what does it mean? That a person who has the power or the leader who exercises the use of the power, so he is definitely going to convert his thoughts into action without giving any choice to him. Even if he doesn't want to work, even if he has a resistance to change, it will not actually matter. He has the power to use variety of tactics. That is, he will actually influence the people to push or prompt the particular action, saying that I will cut your leaves, I will not give you promotion, or you have to do this, or you have to do that, you have to complete the particular work in this timeline. Whatever the leader will say as the use of the excessive power, the people of the team members have to follow it. Whether the tactics which he uses is positive or negative, it doesn't matter. He can use any kind or a variety of tactics to push or for a excessive prompt action what he needs. So we can say that power is the ability to get the things done. People with power are able to influence the other behavior to achieve a goal or an objective. Others may resist attempts to make them do certain things, but an effective leader is one who is able to overcome that particular resistance. Although people may regard power as evil or corrupt, power is a fact of organizational life and in itself is neither good or bad. Leaders can use the power to benefit others or to constrain them to serve the organizational goals or to undermine them. So, what is a power? Power can be viewed as a resource that people employ in their interactions. The term downward power refers to the leader's ability to influence the subordinates. This can also be seen as someone wielding the authority over someone else. Subordinates, on the other hand, can use the upward power by attempting to influence their boss' decisions. Indeed, leaders rely on their teams to get the things done, and as a result, they are actually vulnerable to the authority of their subordinates. So we can say that overall it is not very advisable to use the excessive power. Rather than, we should always use more of an influence and less of a power to have the desired direction. And of course, power can also be viewed as a resource that people employ in their interactions, their communications, etc. So there's a term called downward power, which refers to the leader's ability to influence the subordinates as and when we move on down to the hierarchy level. There are various types of power, there are various types of influence which play a vital role as far as the leadership positions are concerned. And of course, power is the ability to get the things done without giving any kind of an alternative to the team members, even if they resist change or their attempts are not that good. But it is very effective for a leader to overcome that kind of a resistance, because he has a particular power to exercise for a particular desired outcomes.